So you want to prioritize your mental health, but what does that really look like? What are the key pieces, the foundations of mental health that you can be cultivating in your life? In this video, we'll talk about one of those keys to prioritizing your mental health, which is sleep. My name is Dr. Parke. I'm a psychologist for youth, and here at Through the Waters, we nurture youth mental health. Today's topic of sleep is a touchy one because I've talked to some students who love sleeping and get as much of it as they possibly can into their schedule. I've talked to other students who feel like trying to get enough sleep is just a sick joke and they'll never catch up on sleep because they're so overwhelmed by life and schoolwork and trying to have a social life and all the things. Or other students, they try to sleep, but when they lie down, their thoughts are just going into overdrive in their mind as they lie in bed. Wherever you might fall along that spectrum, you are welcome at the table of this conversation, so to speak, and I'm coming into this topic recognizing that this is going to be very different for each of us, and it's going to be a more painful topic for some people than others. Also, it might sound like a Captain Obvious thing or a no-brainer that we all need to sleep, but the amount and the timing and the quality of our sleep has serious consequences for our mental health. Before I share the actual scientific recommendations about how much sleep we should be ideally getting, like the number of hours, I'm gonna underscore the importance of sleep itself. Why is sleep so important? I'm gonna paraphrase here from a 2016 article published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine. If you do get the recommended hours of sleep on a regular basis, that's associated with better health, including improved attention, learning, memory, emotional regulation, quality of life, and mental and physical health overall. However, if you regularly get less than the number of recommended sleep hours, that's associated with attention and learning problems, and it can increase the likelihood of negative stuff in your life, like accidents, injuries, and depression. In teenagers specifically, not getting enough sleep has been associated with increased risk of self-harm, suicidal thoughts, and suicide attempts. So that's obviously a very big deal, more than I can say, and it underscores the importance of sleep in our lives. So let's look at some of the general guidelines about how much sleep we should ideally be getting. So, at least according to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine and the Sleep Research Society, here's the recommendations based on age. If you're between 13 to 18 years old, the recommendation is 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night. If you're over 18, the recommendation is 7 or more hours of sleep. That's the basic breakdown. I'm just going to leave those numbers right here and you can do with them what you wish. Personally, I have found that it's kind of easy to delude myself about how much sleep I'm actually getting. So I found that biodata can come in handy in terms of measuring sleep and being like point blank honest with myself about how much I'm actually sleeping. I realize not everyone will have access to the technology involved in this, so this is kind of like an extra added thing, but it can be helpful. If you do happen to have access to a cell phone or even something like a smartwatch, check out apps that can give you feedback about your sleep. I've been using the Apple Health app as well as an app called Sleepwatch to monitor my sleep patterns over time. If you don't have a cell phone or a smartwatch, maybe just try to be extra aware of what time you're lying down in bed at night and what time you're waking up in the morning. If you want to go the extra mile in monitoring your sleep, write down the current time before you fall asleep, and then write down the time when you wake up and calculate the difference in terms of how many hours did you sleep. If you do that for a while, you can see the pattern of how much sleep you're getting over time. If you're having a lot of trouble sleeping, remember to talk with your doctor about that so that they can help you problem solve. So what is sleep like for you these days? Are there any strategies that have helped you get enough sleep? Let us know in the comments. In the description below, you'll find some helpful links like a free list of coping tools that you can download. You can also sign up for our signature anxiety program called Peace to the People, where we take a deep dive into leveling up your tools for dealing with anxiety. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. In the next video, we'll talk more about some specific sleep tips called sleep hygiene.